All right, ladies and gentlemen, Immortal Technique is here. We're going to get shit popping.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Shout out to Southpaw.
I can read your mind. I am the maker of rules. Dealing with fools, I can cheat you blind.
When I hear people say, oh, you know, they had so many scientific advancements, the Aztecs, Maya, and Inca, like the aliens must have helped you to do it. On one level, I think that's pretty interesting, and to even acknowledge for someone to say that there's extraterrestrial life. But at the same time, my question is this: those developments happened over the course of hundreds of years, of thousands of years.
Yeah.
We're looking at American society now that went from being in a fucking horse and buggy 150 years ago to now being on the moon, and everybody's got a cell phone the size of a pack of Tic Tacs and whatnot. So listen, if the aliens helped anybody, they helped people here in America. They didn't help us,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well,
We developed it over hundreds and I say thousands of years of work and science or whatnot. Or then they've been helping everybody the whole time.
I think it's silly to assume that the aliens helped us, but I don't rule out the possibility. I don't, just because I think that the human race is so ridiculous. The whole lot of us, we're so strange and bizarre that I don't. It's just the fact that we even exist.
The talking monkey.
Yeah, the fact that we can send satellites into space, just the fact that we can do the nutty shit that we can do. I would never rule out that somewhere along the line we got fucked with. Yeah, someone gave us some shit or fucked with us a little bit, or did some shit with some monkeys and made people. I'm not ruling that out, man. I do not rule that out.
I would say aliens before Bigfoot.
Dude, Bigfoot, I'm going squatching. You shut your mouth. I told you, this fucking whole area is very squatchy. There's a lot of trees across the street, I noticed. That's a very squatchy area. I mean, it is our own human curiosity that leads us to fuck with things and remove things from the food chain and use our infinite wisdom to change, like, the topography of the earth. But that is also a part of nature, because we are all nature, Even if people say that, oh, plastic is unnatural, sort of, but no, it's natural. It's what the shitty humans make.
This brings up an interesting question. I had a conversation with a friend of mine, Matt. If we evolve ourselves, right? If we decide to genetically modify ourselves, and people say that's unnatural, isn't that nature? Isn't that us being...
It's all natural.
Where we have the ability now to be intelligent enough to map and select certain genes and to say, all right, you know what? I want to be able to take this gene that says that my organs will fail at like 80 or 90 years, and I'm going to put a 0 on that.
Right. People have to just not be cunts. That's really what it is. Think about what you're doing. For real. Think about what you're doing and say, am I being a cunt? Like, look at it realistically. And if you're being a cunt, stop it. It's really that simple. And if you got some fucking crazy ass business where you're robbing people of their natural resources and going in there with tanks and killing who knows how many fucking civilians, and somehow or another you've passed it off as helping someone's freedom or supporting freedom or making sure we're free, you're a cunt. That's a cunt thing. That's crazy.
And the
talk.
crazy thing is, it's always on the top level.
And it's always people who never gone to war themselves.
Right,
They're all chicken hawks.
And then it's always somebody who has to suffer and go through being apart from their family, and who really, I have a lot of friends. I have some family in the military. It's not that when we question this country.
Not questioning the people that are
we're not angry at y'all. We're angry at the individuals who are in charge that never take responsibility.
How the fuck does this world evolve if we're still involved in all the wars and all the craziness and all that? How the fuck do we get past this? The more I look at the life that we see on TV every day and the tragedies that we see in the news and the horrific things that are going on all over the world, the more I go, there's gotta be a way that collectively we can figure out how to stop most of this shit. Most of this shit that I'm looking at is people doing shit to other people. We collectively stop that. It's almost like, because we're not dealing with UFOs or asteroids or anything nutty outside of the Earth, all of our conflicts are being caused by people doing cunty shit to other people. Like, literally, the whole world's problem is the whole world. The people in the world's problem is the people. It seems like that should be the easiest thing to solve. That should be the easiest thing to figure out how to get past. It's like we're like the crazy person that never learns from their crazy actions. It just keeps doing the same stupid shit over and over and over again.
Or the crazy person that doesn't realize they're crazy, like most crazy people don't seem to get. I think what we're talking about here is really the evolution and the de-evolution of mankind, because we have, we're
so close.
We have the ability to be on other planets almost. You know what I mean? We have the ability to create these lasers, these incredible communication devices, these incredible travel devices.
Cell phones, 4G.
But we have not cured greed. We haven't cured racism. We haven't cured, jealousy, anger, hatred. We're ruled by these things, and people that can control them and know how those function within the human mind have more of an ability to control.
Well, what's interesting is that
else.
when things get created, say something spectacular, something destructive, the people that are creating that thing, then that technology gets put into the hands of people that did not create it. They just have it now.
Right.
And that is always a problem. We have the ability to do shit that we don't have the moral evolution to cope with. We have the ability to wipe out like giant sections of the world in like real quick blasts. And we somehow or another feel like, because we do it a little bit more precisely, like in Iraq, like that's a little bit more precisely. You send actual troops in there instead of just dusting the whole area. It's still a massive amount of casualties.
And they love to use the
same result.
The word, the catchphrase, collateral damage. Which I think is one of the worst excuses for murder in the world.
It's crazy. What I do every morning is a kale shake, and which is a lot of people have been doing this. And if you're down for health and vitality, man, there's very few things in life better than a really fucking thick, heavy, nutrient-dense vegetable shake in the morning. And it does not taste good. I'm not going to fucking lie to you. I chew this shit down every day. And every day I think about finding a way to pussy out of this. Like, oh man, just have some bacon and eggs. Fuck this. But I don't. I drink this goddamn awful concoction. I was feeling like a little bit sick when I came back from Canada the other day, a lot of traveling and shit. I drank this shit one day. By the end of the day, I felt great. That's never happened. Every time I get a cold, by the end of the day, I'm ready to go to sleep. I'm fighting this off. I got to take a hot bath the next day. It takes like a day to fight off a cold. By the end of the day, it was done. Because I'm eating nutrient-dense shit, bitches. Okay? I go crazy with it. My latest thing, I add coconut oil to it because Rob Wolf, who will be on tomorrow, the author of the Paleo Diet, said that in order for you to get maximum absorption of the vitamins from plants, you should have them with some fat. The way the human body works, you should have a little bit of fat. So I started adding coconut oil to that shit, son. And coconut oil has been known to help people who have Alzheimer's disease. There's some sort of a connection between Alzheimer's disease and diabetes, that it's almost like a sort of a cousin of diabetes for the brain or something like that. And they're having positive results giving Alzheimer's patients coconut oil. Coconut is a wonderful fucking plant. What an amazing resource coconuts are. It tastes delicious. You can eat the meat of it. You drink it. There's oil in it. It's great for you. You can't think anything better for rehydrating than coconut milk. The water from coconuts is the shit.
Coconut
C2O,
butter.
bitches. Is there coconut butter?
No, coconut butter is good.
My favorite candy bar of all time is Almond Joy because it has coconut in it. Almond Joy. Is the almonds alone good enough? Nope. Need some coconut to back that shit up. You got to treat everybody as if it's you living another life. If we could all do that, if we could all picture any person, regardless of what the fuck they're going through in your life, think about what it would be like to live that person's life from birth to death with their situation, their economic situation, their biological situation, their life experiences. Would you be any different than that person? If you were that man, if you were that woman, would you be any different? Are you them? If that person was born you, would they be you? And are we all the same like that? And is that what life really is all about? Is figuring out that each one of us is exactly the same. We're just living through a different biological circumstance. And the more you can treat everyone you meet like they're you living another life, the happier you'll be. And that's the only way we're ever going to sort this thing out. Is everyone has to do things based on that ideal. Everyone whether it's business or personal shit, whatever you do, you always have to think that this person that you're dealing with is you living another life. And you can't let them boss you around, can't let them talk shit to you, can't let them fuck up your life. You know, you do your best to keep them on track, but your ethic and your resolve and your intent should always be to treat them as if it was you living a whole nother life.
Unless you're somebody who hates yourself, and then that's just...
Well, you got to get your shit together, son. That's a whole nother trip.
Then you start fucking people up like, I fucking hate you.
Well, they just closed down all these medical marijuana dispensaries in California, or they just sent a letter in Los Angeles. Los Angeles has decided to step in their infinite wisdom and shut down the only businesses that are regularly making money in all of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So stupid. It's you fucking... dummies.
The first American flag was made out of hemp.
But what I don't understand is how they can just do that, because a lot of these people are families, and this is their family business now, and they've invested so much time and money, and they were allowed to.
They're doing it because they have power that they didn't earn. They don't deserve it. They're dumb cunts. That's why they're doing it. Yeah. They're idiots. The idea that it's hurting anybody is preposterous. So the idea that you're protecting people from anything is ridiculous. What are you doing? What are you doing that's good for the common welfare? What are you doing that's good for the community? What you're doing is absolutely illogical and based on a false pretense, and that is that there's something wrong with taking cannabis. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it health-wise. There's nothing wrong with it, and there's no one's getting victimized by it. There's no addictive properties to it. I don't give a fuck what Dr. Drew says. Marijuana is not physically addictive. And if you get addicted to pot, you could get addicted to anything.
Who said that?
Dr. Drew. You could get addicted to beating off. You can get addicted to playing with your eyelids. There's people that are addicted to plucking hairs out of their arms, okay? That doesn't mean that plucking hairs out of your arms should be illegal. And when people are caught up in any sort of fanatical pursuit, especially financial fanatical pursuit, it becomes about ones and zeros. It becomes about numbers. It becomes about adding zeros to the ledger. It doesn't become about your own personal growth and you as a human being trying to find yourself in a better place in this world. It doesn't become about that. That's the real issue. The real issue is the numbers trick you into thinking that they're real. Instead of thinking that, because they are real, you can get things from them, real things like a house that you can knock on. You can get a car that you knock on that car. That's a real car. So there is something real that you get from it. But essentially, we've decided that those things are that you can get those things for money. We've decided that. We've all decided that, and because it's broken down to a number thing, then that becomes the grand pursuit. The grand pursuit becomes this crazy idea that you need to stockpile numbers at the expense of humanity.
Yes, we did sponsor a jihad against the Russians, and when someone was blowing things up, there's some mom in Russia right now who cried over her dead son back in the 70s and 80s, and her pain is no different than any American mother that's, suffering because their son died in Iraq. At some point, if we don't put ourselves in that isolation tank and say, we can't escape this. This is something permanent that has affected our
well, the
world,
real problem is the word
then
we.
we have to come together.
Yeah, the problem is the word we. It's like, who's actually doing this? Who's actually doing it? It's a very small amount of people that are actually in charge of the heinous acts of the world. It's really kind of fucked up. Small amount of people put forth the motion of a large group of people that work for the cause. But it's a very small amount of cunts. It's kind of incredible when you really stop and look at how fucked up the world is for a small amount of people. Isolated cunts. Yeah. Yeah, like guys like Dick Cheney. Remember when he was in that bunker all the time?
Deciding what Bush would do.
What the fuck was that about? Dude would just hide in the bunker, and we would just go, we hear Dick. How do I know he's in the bunker? I mean, that seems really stupid. I'm not even trying to find this out, and I know that he's in the bunker. You know what I mean? What the fuck kind of weird shit is that? Are you so confident in that goddamn bunker?
Listen, people like him are in the position that they're in because they convince other individuals that they're moral leaders. That in some way, look, this is my only thing in terms of Republicans and Democrats when we have this debate and we discuss it. They're both have to pander to corporations. However, in my experience, I've met a lot more conservative people that try to play pious and that's so horrible. And as opposed to saying, yeah, we're all part of this. You know what I mean? As opposed to just being who you want to be. Instead, you lie about who you want to be, and then you're trying to pick men up in an airport bathroom, or you're secretly selling arms to enemies, or you're doing. At least just be who you are. But at some point, you couldn't be in that position you are unless you didn't convince people that you're a good Christian. You know what I mean? That you're a humble person, that you care about other people. When in reality, you're probably not any of these things. And you got into politics because it's a good fucking payday.
Well, it's also they want power.
Power, too.
The reason why...
Or women.
The reason why anybody who wants to be president shouldn't be president is that nobody should want to be president. Nobody should want to be that guy, the one guy that gets to decide everything. How arrogant are you? You're crazy. You're out of your fucking mind. The position shouldn't exist anymore. It shouldn't be a way where one person is thought of as our great leader in 2012. It's nonsense.
Going to